If you were born somewhere in a far-lost continent and were taught to pray to a rock by your parents, you probably would not question this, because you would have confidence that your family knew best. Of course, they would never lie to you, because they loved you. You would pray to the rock when you needed comfort, or just in case something was going wrong in your life. Let's say you did this most of your life, for about 40 years or more. Then someday, some person who knew the truth told you the shocking news. They told you that the rock you worship was just a rock. Nothing special, just a rock. They would pick it up and throw it across some river to prove this to you as a fact. You would become enraged and probably attack that person for disrespecting your God. You would be confused and think back at all the time you spent praying to that rock. Then you would be angry when the realization sunk in. Could this be true? Would you confront your parents or tell all the others? What if your parents told you they were taught this by their parents and did not know better? After all, it worked for them. Sometimes people need to investigate things for themselves and not go along just because it's a tradition. Sometimes a rock is just a rock. What can be done? If you are satisfied with it, you have to live with it, and then no need to look further. When people investigate the truth about their own nature, they sometimes become aware of those who have played a role in their conditioning process. They get glimpses of truth as they wake up to the facts about their own spirituality. This realization is a newfounded self-empowerment that can initially make a person become doubtful or even skeptical about what new program they are going to replace in their minds. This confusion is because it's not the program that needs to be replaced, but instead the mind that needs to accept the responsibility for its own creativity, which includes the thought process. Living in the future or the past often overworks the senses. This is why in the past only those who searched were initiated to prevent confusion and an influx of overwhelming information. One must not recondition the mind, but instead uncondition the mental faculties, in order to obtain the organized mind to observe reality for what it is. Accepting a set of philosophies or a new religion is just as binding as the condition that you were before. True liberation actually is deleting all forms of condition and the what to think processes. Eventually, you must organize for yourself only those essentials that keep you in the state of mind that works for yourself. People often equate themselves with what they do or where they were raised, which is a program of complete limitation. This type of thinking creates framework and paralyzes the spirit with man-made barriers and separation borders. A person, when being awakened by a revelation of truth, will sometimes become angry and disillusioned because one feels that their life has been a lie and were led to believe something false by those who didn't know better. Sometimes, the anger is with loved ones who should have been aware of those important life secrets. At other times, the resentment is often directed toward religious traditions imposed on us by family culture. This is called believing blindly and in uncertainty, which shakes the core of an individual who was blindly accepting an untruth, not really grounded in the investigation of knowing. When one knows, one experiences the authentic self and has no need to believe unless it's used to self-create in fortitude.